The homeowner can, if they wish, change the layout of the space. Today, we carefully handle both the selection of furniture, the choice of materials, as well as the selection of colors.
Well, in fact, there was a bit of a mess at the beginning.
The Thai contractors said that it probably wouldn't be possible to make the room, so we immediately eliminate and avoid such design mistakes and errors.
There are a lot of flaws, glue left over, everything is just hanging here.
In the corridors, you use one shade of color. In the bedroom, you use a different shade. If you use another color on the stairs, the house could collapse.
Building a house in Thailand is not for the faint of heart. Different climate conditions, different standards, different mindset. Yes, even the insects and plants are different here, and they can easily ruin your house. From termites to ivy that can destroy even concrete. My name is Dennis Rakniak. I live and work in Phuket. This is Igor, our head of technical supervision. And now we're going to show you a property that has come under our management. We'll tell you what it was like originally, what difficulties and problems we faced, and how we solved them. All right, let's go into the master bedroom. Yes, here it is.
The comfortable master bedroom with a separate bathroom.
Oh, right on time.
A little closer. By the way, Dennis, here we can see that the room we built isn't here. I'll show you now. Here on the
second floor, where the terrace was turned into a fourth room.
The terrace was turned into a fourth room, yes.
We have a garage for 2 cars.
A 2-story house with a pool and a garage.
The first floor is a kitchen living room.
First floor, kitchen living room.
This is the area for meetings, apparently, maybe negotiations, and a bathroom. A room. Listen, well, looking at the project, it seems like it was done by Thais.
Right. The project is Thai, yes, completely. Thai designer, Thai contractor.
Not bad in terms of development and detailing. Let me tell you the backstory of our client. So the guys originally lived in Bang Tao in a big villa. They have a family and kids. The kids go to the British school, which is literally about 200 meters away. There, that's the campus, 100 meters away, right across the fence. British school. Yes, this is Round Village. Considering daily logistics, since I live in Bang Tao, I know getting to the British school takes at least 30 minutes. That's half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, so a whole hour. The clients decided to buy a house here, in the condition it was in, and completely remodel it to fit their own lifestyle logistics. Listen, here's a question. If we had started the project from scratch, how would you have organized everything? This is MERU Estate with you, and let's get started. If I'm not mistaken, when we came here, when you started coming to the house and taking it over, some work was already being done here, right? So there was already some contractor involved. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, of course, the contractor had been chosen. That is, the client selected the contractor themselves and also chose their own designer. We came to the site as a technical supervision team during the construction period.
Yes.
Yes, but then what
happened next?
Dasha, who is the client and also a highly respected individual, asked us to essentially act as the client's trusted representative in this project. Today, we are responsible for handling both the careful selection of furniture, the thoughtful choice of materials, as well as the harmonious selection of colors for the space. We oversee the materials, control all the work, and fully coordinate with all the contractors involved on the project, right up to the installation of the security cameras. I would also like to take a moment to note that the contractor was responsible for installing a cable specifically for charging our client's electric bus. After this, we went to PA to request the standard 2-phase connection. This organization or the power supply company then assisted the client in signing a contract for a 3-phase power supply and replaced the previously installed cable with one that is suitable for 3-phase supply. As a result of these changes, charging the bus will now take no more than 2 hours.
And in Gainu as well. The first thing I noticed is the presence of a swimming pool. By the way, when I arrived in the village, I noticed that not every house has a pool. But I realized that the client himself...
The client had done that before we came? Yes, when we entered, the pool was almost finished. We checked the seams and tapped the tiles. Right now, we are overseeing the commissioning and startup of the filtration system, ensuring everything runs smoothly.
I see the column, it's been redone.
The columns? Yes, we changed the color of the porcelain stoneware on the columns.
By the way, just to clarify, the wall, the one inside the garage, was also brought out.
Here? We will also be replacing the concrete flooring here, just like in the garage, with gray porcelain stoneware. Here. We suggested porcelain stoneware that looks like beautiful parquet to the client. This area will be a barbecue zone and a gas grill will be installed here. Here as well, we've proposed a solution so that we don't have to break through the floor slab. A comprehensive design solution has been carefully developed for routing the exhaust and ventilation system from the gas grill.
Ah, so the grill is definitely here and everything is vented outside.
Yes, everything goes outside. We'll run the air duct through the utility rooms without making any holes in the concrete. So, together with the contractor, we developed the solution, finalized it, and got it approved by the client. There was a problem, but we resolved it.
When did you start working on the site?
We started working on the site on December 9th of last year.
Of which year?
Of 2020.
Now it's May.
Today is...
So ideally, when will we know?
By the end of the month, we'll try to have it done. Yes, we can't directly influence the deadlines since we didn't choose the contractor. The contractor isn't our people, not ours, but we work with them specifically and consistently on quality and carefully monitor the work schedule. And we also address problematic and current issues as they arise so that construction doesn't come to a halt.
So Igor, let's go inside the house itself. This, as I understand it, is the living room and kitchen area?
This is the kitchen and living room.
What have we done here?
Here we influenced the placement of the air conditioners themselves and also actively participated in carefully choosing the models. The project had specified certain models, but we replaced them. We removed some things, adjusted others, and positioned the air conditioners so that, for example, they wouldn't blow cold air directly into our faces or eyes. The cold air was distributed properly and efficiently throughout the rooms based on their volume.
So here we have the first entrance with a walk-in closet.
This is the first walk-in entrance.
And over there is the second entrance.
Yes, that's the second entrance. There you can meet with guests, sit down, and discuss work-related matters. Kind of like an office. Yes, just like an office. Actually, the entrance doors here, as you can see, used to be quite low, about 2 meters in height, which is quite low for a door. They were non-standard, so we raised the door height and made them standard everywhere. The doors are taller now and look better. In this spot, we decided not to construct a doorway. There was a bit of nonsense here. There's no door here, then there's a door, and then again, no door. Basically, there's a handrail here, so there's absolutely no point in having a door at all. It was a design mistake. We immediately get rid of such design errors and don't repeat them. Here.
Double height ceiling, small sofa.
The double height ceiling makes it feel airy, plus there's air conditioning. We kept it like that. We have one here and one over here. There used to be another air conditioner here as well. Add it to the list. Why?
Igor, could you tell us how you started on the project as a technical supervisor, but over time became the client's representative, managing all processes, overseeing contractors, and steering everything toward the final result? Why did that happen?
Well, we actually came to the site and really saw quite a certain lack of control, as is often the case in Thailand. I mean, people were even sleeping and just sitting around doing nothing, so we started to figure out why this was happening. We identified a number of inaccuracies in the project, as well as several disagreements between the client and the contractor, and between different subcontracting organizations. For example, the air conditioning installers couldn't come to an agreement with the finishers. We started holding regular weekly meetings, coordinated the various issues between the contractors, established the proper sequence of work, replaced certain materials, and worked closely with the designer. We revised the design project and replaced some materials with ones that, based on our experience, are considerably more durable, more practical, and of better quality overall. For example, we specifically selected materials with careful sorting in mind. We even went as far as returning certain materials to the supplier, ensuring the highest standards were maintained.
There are a lot of cameras in the house. Literally every corner is covered.
This was the client's request, to have every corner visible, including in front of every room inside the house. Also,
Contractor handled cameras.
The contractor determined the locations for the cameras. We coordinated with him as well, checked everything together. Naturally, we provided the connection points and organized the interaction with the contractor who was directly doing the work.
Flooring, laminate, or
Parquet? Actually, what we have is laminate flooring. According to the design project, there was supposed to be a single, uniform, and consistent color of laminate flooring used throughout the entire house. We suggested to the client to do something different in the corridors. To use one shade in the corridors, another shade in the bedroom. A different color for the stairs, and yet another for the kids' room, so to speak. So
in fact, you improved on the designer's proposal?
Yes, the house changed.
To add variety, to make the coverings more interesting.
And I'd also like to point out that in the kitchen area, they also had laminate. But since that's a wet area, we suggested to the client to replace it. And we created a marble imitation for them. That is, it's large format ceramic granite tile. And was parquet originally planned in the project? Yes, there was parquet.
That's
not right. We'll take care of that issue for him as well.
What's happening with the staircase? What will it be finished with?
The staircase will have laminate, which is a material made to look like wood planks and is chosen for its durability and easy maintenance. After we do some repairs and make a few updates to modernize the stairs, we will reinstall the old railing to keep some of the home's original character. The decision was made not to buy a new one, but to return the old one to its place, modernize it, and touch up the paint a bit, and that's it, meaning it's in good condition. The handrail itself is also wooden, of good quality, so we'll just put it back.
Okay, let's go take a look at the second floor. So, Igor, are we just painting the stairwell?
The stairwell, just the walls, just painting.
The walls and steps, are you also using special laminate?
On the steps, specifically designed for the staircase, almost like a ready-made joining board for installation.
Without profiles?
Without profiles.
joins together seamlessly. So here we have 4 rooms, including the finished one, right?
4 rooms, yes, plus a bathroom.
Let's take a look at what I want to show. When I came here, for example, I looked at these panels. This was done by the previous contractor, someone from technical supervision or whoever was here.
No technical supervision, just the contractor.
There are a lot of flaws. This glue that's left over, it's all hanging here, all of it. In fact, we have to redo everything. Everything will be torn down and removed.
Plus the seams and misalignment, reported to the client, and the contractor must replace defective work.
All right, so let's go out onto the terrace, the very one you mentioned, Igor, where we basically built an extra 5th room here.
This is the terrace located on the 2nd floor. Yes, we built the 5th room right here in this spot. The client specifically wanted to have it constructed, but the contractor tried to talk them out of it, arguing that the load-bearing capacity would not be sufficient and the house could possibly collapse. They were saying all sorts of scary things like that, really trying to make their point. In reality, the Thais just don't want to do any extra work. Did you
make them do the calculations?
Yes, we made them recalculate, to sit down and go over it again. We worked on the project together and decided to go ahead and build the room. That's one thing. Then, as I mentioned before, there was a utility room there, just a simple canopy right behind this room. So we made an entrance from the room into the walk-in closet, and now the room has a walk-in closet. So as far as I understand, this is where our client will be living.
And so the roof was also extended
beyond the original roof line. Naturally, all of this is a redesign. And here we'll have another decorative canopy, one made of glass, and a terrace that leads through to the master area, bedroom.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Igor, listen, so we walked through and took a look, and now I get it. Yeah, you did a great job pulling all this together. Listen, here's the question. If we had started this project from scratch, how would you have organized everything?
Well, if we were starting from scratch, we would have approached things differently from the very beginning. First of all, with the layout. That is, we would have adjusted the layout as well, meaning we would have made it somewhat bigger. We would have changed the room sizes, recalculated the bathroom areas, and made the space feel more open and inviting.
And in terms of organizing the work?
As for organizing the work, well, once the project is fully ready, you can carefully calculate the proper specifications and thoughtfully select all the necessary materials in advance, meaning you can approach this process thoroughly and precisely, choose eco-friendly materials, and also select durable materials that will be really noticeable in the final result. It's much more pleasant there, and the overall atmosphere is noticeably improved.
That is to organize all the processes for all the contractors in advance.
Yes, of course.
To plan their time and...
Yes.
And I would calmly, methodically, and purposefully proceed.
Yes, and I would definitely recommend that the client stick with one contractor throughout the entire process until the very end and approach the selection of a contractor very carefully, meaning not to switch contractors midway. That is, clients always want to save money, so they hire a cheap contractor, then start having issues with them, hire another one, then have issues again, and hire yet another one. In the end, the client who originally wanted to save money, in the end, they're willing to pay any amount just to finally finish building their house and move in.
That's why
you should work with one person so you know exactly who to hold accountable.
Yes, I completely agree, 100%. But sometimes the client isn't just trying to save money when choosing a contractor. Maybe someone was recommended or there are other reasons, right? But given the specifics of working in Thailand, you and I have already encountered this on many projects. Here, any contractor listens and they're ready. They are willing to redo things. The Thais are really good at what they do.
Yes, but again, only if you know how to deal with them. The Thais are a very peculiar people.
They are respectful and polite. No one loses their temper or leaves the job. Instead, they'll apologize, redo everything, and make it just as you want.
You just need to help them, give them some support. It's better to guide them. Yes, that's always important.
Igor, well, let me ask you something. The last question, but this one is more for our viewers, our potential clients or existing ones. So tell us, why did you choose this particular case? To show how important technical supervision is.
Well, because during the construction phase, you can easily spot the subtle nuances and make thoughtful adjustments, fix the house to better suit your needs, and correct it as needed. During construction, you can identify any inaccuracies in the design solutions. Because on paper, we see one beautiful picture and think, that's it, that's our house, it's beautiful, and we'll move into a house just like that. But in reality, there are nuances that, during the process, don't fit together, don't align with each other, or are technically impossible to implement, or, for example, like in our case. Again, at this site, we're changing something the developer has already done. For example, the windowsills were installed with a reverse slope, so all the water collects and flows back into the house. Now we're making slopes everywhere. Just look, even on the neighboring houses, all of theirs are flat. Why they do it this way in Thailand is unclear. The water is supposed to drain away. So we fix these kinds of issues too, to really make sure that living in and maintaining the house will be comfortable overall in the future. Exactly. This was...
Thank you. MERU Estate with you. See you next time.
See you next time. Also, guys, I wanted to show you this beautiful tiling. Stone in the garage area. This is an exceptionally excellent material that we suggested to the client for the parking area. It's durable and doesn't wear out. So what did we do? The material was purchased by the contractor, and after that we arrived at the site, carefully checked its quality, and then sorted the material accordingly. This is what the material looked like when it first arrived at the site, giving us a clear idea of its initial condition. In reality, we only lay down material that is perfect and perfectly even. And as a result, we achieve perfect quality. It could have been a mediocre job, but we guys are straight A students. We only do things well,